It's a twister.
The sky turned completely black before the rain even began to hit the concrete. A towering 5,000-foot tall wall of choking desert dust, known scientifically as a haboob, swept forcefully across central and southern Arizona on Sunday evening. The massive atmospheric wall plunged major metropolitan areas, including Phoenix and Tucson, into near-total darkness within minutes, crippling local air travel, causing widespread electricity grid failures, and triggering severe accidents on major desert interstate highways. The National Weather Service, NWS, in Phoenix, issued immediate dust storm warnings and blowing dust advisories across Maricopa, Pinal, and Pima counties. Meteorologists warned residents that this event marks a highly volatile phase of the 2026 Southwest monsoon season, which officially kicked off with an explosive arrival after months of extreme, record-breaking summer heat. The sheer scale of the dust storm was captured on satellite imagery and by thousands of stunned residents filming from their doorsteps. Spanning a massive front of nearly 70 miles wide, the brown wall advanced north-northwest at speeds reaching up to 55 miles per hour. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, these dramatic phenomena are unique to arid environments. They do not form from simple daytime winds. Instead, they are generated by collapsing thunderstorm cells. As high-altitude storms in eastern and northern Arizona collapse, they dump immense pockets of cold, dense air onto the desert floor. This explosive downward force, known as a microburst, creates a powerful gust front that radiates outward across the arid valleys, scraping loose topsoil off the desert floor and hoisting it miles into the troposphere. As the wall of dust engulfed the Phoenix Valley, visibility at Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport dropped to 0.00 miles. The total whiteout forced the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, to issue a mandatory ground stop for all inbound and outbound flights, stranding thousands of passengers for hours until the dust plume drifted northwest. The impact on regional highways was equally catastrophic. Wind gusts peaking at a blinding 70 miles per hour at Sky Harbor Airport and an astonishing 94 miles per hour in Santan Valley knocked down utility poles and snapped high-voltage lines. Local power providers reported that over 100,000 customers were left without electricity in the blistering summer heat. Major commuter arteries experienced severe gridlock and multi-vehicle chain reaction accidents. In Interstate 10, the vital corridor linking Phoenix and Tucson was hit by blinding walls of sand, causing extreme deceleration and multiple minor collisions. Interstate 8 and State Route 79, dense pockets of dust reduced driver visibility to less than a quarter mile, leaving motorists stranded on highway shoulders. On Interstate 19, commuters traveling between Tucson and Nogales faced an onslaught of strong wind gusts over 50 miles per hour, blinding debris, and sudden torrential downpours. To combat the growing public safety threat posed by these intense weather events, researchers at Arizona State University, ASU, recently developed a brand new 1-to-5 Phoenix dust storm intensity scale. Similar to the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale or the enhanced Fujita scale for tornadoes, this metric is designed to categorize the severity of incoming haboobs based on particulate matter concentration, width, and wind velocity. Having more awareness of the dust events in the area is going to help people make more informed decisions, stated Dr. Randy Cerveny, a leading professor at ASU's School of Geographical Sciences. Preliminary assessments suggest that yesterday evening's severe storm will officially register as a high-end Category 4 event due to its expansive 70-mile front and prolonged zero visibility measurements. Beyond the immediate dangers of low visibility and falling infrastructure, state health officials are sounding the alarm over long-term respiratory consequences.
Look at this.
Arizona's desert soil is the primary breeding ground for coccidioids fungal spores. When massive dust storms violently churn up the parched ground, these microscopic spores become airborne and are easily inhaled deep into human lungs, causing a disease known as valley fever, coccidioidomycosis. Local medical personnel are preparing for a significant spike in clinical evaluations over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Symptoms of valley fever closely mimic the flu or COVID-19, including crushing fatigue, severe dry coughs, night sweats, joint pain, and high fevers. While some individuals fight off the infection naturally, immunocompromised patients, elderly residents, and pregnant individuals can develop severe disseminated chronic lung infections requiring lifelong antifungal therapies. Health authorities strongly advise all individuals to remain indoors, keep windows completely sealed, and utilize high-efficiency particulate air (HEPA) filtration systems immediately following a major haboob event. In response to the recurring threat on desert highways, the Arizona Department of Transportation, ADOT, has remobilized its crucial public safety mandate. State highway patrols emphasize that driving through a dust storm is incredibly dangerous, as a mile of clear visibility can shrink down to a few inches in less than 30 seconds. The agency's strict emergency protocol explicitly directs drivers to safely maneuver your vehicle as far to the right as possible, entirely clearing the paved roadway and the emergency breakdown shoulders. Once parked, shut down your headlights, fog lights, and emergency hazard flashers. If your tail lights remain illuminated, drivers trailing behind in the blinding dust will mistakenly believe you are moving, follow your path, and ram into your parked car at full highway speeds. Ensure that your brake lights are completely unlit. Put the transmission in park and activate your emergency parking brake. Remain tightly buckled in your seat and do not attempt to walk outside until the main body of the dust cloud moves past.
That's it.
The National Weather Service notes that the danger of a monsoon storm does not conclude when the dust settles. Because haboobs are pushed out by moving storm fronts, they are immediately followed by intense lightning displays and localized torrential rain downpours. Yesterday's storm shifted quickly from a blinding dust cloud into severe flash flood warnings for several counties, as multiple inches of rain dropped onto sun-baked desert surfaces. Because the arid soil is baked hard as pavement by triple-digit summer heat, the rain cannot absorb into the ground. Instead, it creates instantaneous, violent torrents of moving water that fill dry desert washes, overflow drainage ditches, and submerge low-lying intersections. First responders across Maricopa and Pima counties conducted several swift water rescues on Sunday night after motorists ignored safety barricades and drove directly into flooded washes. Under Arizona's famous stupid motorist law, drivers who bypass posted emergency closures and require emergency extraction can be held financially liable for the full cost of their emergency rescue operations. Emergency personnel urge everyone to remember the secondary monsoonal directive: turn around, don't drown. Meanwhile, a ground stop was issued Sunday evening for Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport by the Federal Aviation Administration. The ground stop was due to a dust storm over the airport says. According to Sky Harbor, the ground stop was from 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. on July 12th. The Federal Aviation Administration's website says the ground stop impacted flights arriving at Phoenix. However, because flights arriving at Phoenix are experiencing delays, there could be an impact on flights taking off from Phoenix as well. To find out if the ground stop is impacting your flight, head to Phoenix Sky Harbor's website. As of Monday morning, the airport was reporting some delayed flights on its schedule. NWS issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Pinal County earlier in the evening on Saturday, citing a thunderstorm in San Manuel moving southwest. The storm included 60 miles per hour winds and small hail. Another thunderstorm was located in Oracle, moving west, with 60 miles per hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. NWS said hail damage is expected, as well as wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. The severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for all of southern Arizona until 10 p.m. on Saturday. Northeastern Pima County and southeastern Pinal County are also under a dust storm warning. The dust is coming from a strong thunderstorm outflow, the NWS explained. There could be less than a quarter-mile visibility, and the NWS said people should avoid driving in these conditions. A blowing dust advisory has been issued for all of southern Arizona until 11 p.m. on Saturday evening. In addition to the thunderstorms, a flash flood warning is in effect for southeastern Pinal County until 9:30 p.m. The NWS said the thunderstorms in the area have brought in around 0.75 inches to 1.5 inches of heavy rain in the northern parts of the Catalina Mountains. The areas that could be impacted are Oracle, Saddlebrook, San Manuel, Camp Benito, and Biosphere 2, as well as the east side of Tucson. Tucson Electric Power crews made significant progress restoring power after Saturday night's monsoon storms swept through southern Arizona. Only about 100 TEP customers remain without power following the storms. TEP reported nearly 30 power outages affecting more than 8,000 customers as of 11:30 p.m. Saturday.
My first Arizona dust storm.
A flash flood warning covered much of Tucson's east side during the storm.
Here it comes.
Monsoon rains returned to some parts of southern Arizona Saturday night. Meanwhile, powerful monsoon cells and intense dust storms have battered Yavapai County and northern Arizona, generating damaging downburst winds, blinding dust walls, and sudden flash floods. The region is enduring dangerous driving conditions as high-velocity outflow boundaries collide across the high desert. A violent sequence of monsoon thunderstorms has torn through the high-elevation communities of Prescott, Prescott Valley, and surrounding Yavapai County. This has triggered wide-scale emergency response measures. The severe weather front has generated blinding dust storms, severe downburst winds exceeding 60 miles per hour, localized quarter-sized hail, and treacherous flash flood warnings. The National Weather Service, NWS Phoenix, and local emergency management agencies have placed northern Arizona under a string of high-urgency weather impacts. Public warnings emphasize the twin deadly threats of the desert monsoon: immediate blindings on regional highways, followed by rapid, raging torrents down parched desert washes. The violent atmospheric layout currently hammering the Quad City region is a direct product of high-octane thermodynamic instability. According to specialized meteorological breakdowns from 12 News Arizona Weather Impact Team, high-pressure ridges shifted deep moisture plumes northward into the higher terrain of central and northern Arizona. When these massive, moisture-laden storm cells build rapidly over the baked landscapes of Yavapai County, they inevitably reach a stage of rapid collapse. As the internal core of a severe thunderstorm cools quickly and falls, it expels a violent downward blast of cold air, known as a downburst or gust front. Upon hitting the hard-baked desert floor, this high-velocity wall of wind rushes outward radially as an outflow boundary. These massive gust fronts act like geographic brooms, instantly vacuuming up millions of tons of dry, loose topsoil, silts, and fine desert sands into the lower atmosphere. The resulting dark brown walls of dust, meteorologically categorized as haboobs when reaching massive scales, can stand thousands of feet high and stretch across dozens of miles. As this blinding barrier surged through the Black Canyon City corridor and barreled directly into the Prescott Basin, motorists, residents, and regional emergency services were forced into immediate defensive actions. The most immediate, life-threatening manifestation of the dust storm has been the catastrophic decay of visibility across critical regional transportation arteries. State Route 69, State Route 89, and key segments of the Interstate 10 and Interstate 17 corridors experienced near-total whiteout, or brownout, conditions within seconds. The danger on these highways during the early phase of a monsoon cell is rarely just the water, noted a transport safety evaluation published via Autoblog via Yahoo News. A cell builds with extreme speed, throws down a wall of wind, and drives a blinding sheet of dust across lanes before a single drop of rain hits your windshield. Jumps from miles of clear visibility to absolute zero happen in the time it takes an operator to read a highway billboard. In Prescott Valley and the surrounding high desert passes, regional authorities reported multiple close-call incidents involving commercial haulers and passenger vehicles caught off guard by the abrupt arrival of the brown walls. Immediately following the passage of the leading dust wall, the microclimatic core of the monsoon cells unloaded their severe convective payloads directly over Yavapai County. Reports gathered from localized resident footage via Fox 10 Phoenix and ABC 15 Arizona confirmed that the Thumb Butte area and sections of South Prescott were pummeled by volatile, quarter-sized hail. The impact of heavy hail bouncing off resident porches and structural awnings was accompanied by intense, unrelenting cloud-to-ground lightning strikes. High-velocity downburst winds fractured utility infrastructure. Power poles were snapped, and secondary distribution lines were pulled down across various residential zones, leading to localized power outages. Simultaneously, the rain arrived with tropical intensity. Because the high desert soil had been baked hard as concrete by weeks of triple-digit heat, it acted as a completely impermeable barrier. Rainfall could not infiltrate the parched earth. Instead, millions of gallons of instantaneous runoff cascaded straight into local drainage basins, dry washes, and low-lying roadway dips. The NWS subsequently issued a flash flood warning for Yavapai County. This warning turned ordinary, dry arroyos into violent, mud and debris-choked rapids within minutes. Emergency rescue teams were placed on high alert as waters rapidly filled low-water crossings throughout the Quad City zone. The meteorological relief from the intense summer heat will come at the cost of continued environmental volatility. High-density modeling indicates that an abundance of atmospheric moisture will remain locked over eastern Arizona's higher terrains and southern low deserts.
It can get pretty.
According to our current tracking, this setup favors an active monsoon week ahead, with daily storm chances across the board. Detailed 12 news forecasting briefs. Pop-up afternoon storms will consistently trigger over the Grand Canyon, Flagstaff, Rim Country, and Prescott, before pushing down toward the Valley Metro. Residents must anticipate recurrent rounds of gusty winds, heavy localized downpours, intense lightning arrays, and hazardous localized dust movements. Local emergency managers urge all Prescott and Yavapai County residents to verify their emergency alerts on mobile devices. Keep emergency power reserves charged, and secure loose outdoor patio furniture or lightweight residential structures before the afternoon heating triggers the next cycle of severe convective outflow boundaries.
Dust storm right now. You can hardly see anything.
It looks like a water bear.